And with the latest version of ChatGPT, you can actually just point your cell phone to a chart on the screen. You don't actually have to take a screenshot and upload it. If you have the ChatGPT app, it's not out just yet, but the latest update that they're about to push out here with ChatGPT 4.0, you can literally point your phone's camera at a screen or a visual, and it will basically take that and interpret it for you. I'm only again showing you the scratching the surface here. But I do find that when you're taking screenshots, you are giving it's the full detail of the chart, and I think that's really important for accuracy. So I do encourage for those of you that are using it for technical analysis to take a screenshot. And when you use ChatGPT, every single time you place a message, there's an attachment button next to it. You can click on that and upload the latest screenshot of the latest chart, and you can upload multiple charts as well. Is this going to make stock screeners obsolete? No, because stock screeners are purpose-built specific for screening, right? And stock screeners have a lot more data, like financial ratios, things like that ChatGPT just doesn't necessarily have access to, at least not in its current state. Can ChatGPT be used based on criteria rules that you specify to run a scan and come back to the top 10 stocks? So not quite yet there. How about security? Are we exposing our thinking to a third-party software platform? Theoretically, yes. I will say on the paid version of ChatGPT, the risk of that is lower. But ultimately, yes, there's some small risk of that. I would say, articulating what your strategy is, unless you have some super secret strategy that you think is just the best strategy in the world and you don't want anyone else to find out, sure, I don't think you should enter it into ChatGPT. But if you're not working with something that's super proprietary that a hedge fund would kill you for that type of strategy, I think you're okay, in my opinion. To learn from our trading mistakes, can the reverse be done? To take a trade and put the chart and result into the ChatGPT for its in-depth analysis? I haven't tried that, but that's a really good potential use for it, right? I think you'd have to be very clear as far as when you entered the trade. You might have to draw on the chart like, this is when I entered the trade. Did I follow my rules at that time? If you take a snapshot of the trade and from the other perspective, like you have an idea as far as what the risk was on the trade, you absolutely can have it run historical analysis. You just have to have access to the data in order to do it. So you have to know what the relative strength was on the day that you entered it, what the maximum risk was on the day that you entered it. But if you had all of that data, you absolutely can. So you could also just start getting into the habit of every single time you place a trade, take a screenshot of the trade, right? It takes 2 seconds to take a screenshot. And, at least in Mac, screenshots are automatically date and timestamp for you. So you can easily go back and say, okay, I made this trade on this day. Let me go back, find that trade, upload into ChatGPT and say, did I follow my rules, right? Or if I didn't follow my rules, which ones did I break? And maybe you can start finding a pattern of saying, hey, I keep breaking this specific rule. And every time I break it, I seem to it doesn't quite work out for me. Let me make sure that going forward, I write into ChatGPT that this is a rule that I cannot break. If it doesn't meet this specific rule, tell me to not place that trade. The world is your oyster. Think of this as your personal assistant for trading, and you can tell it to do whatever it is that you want it to do.